I personally just believe that if you have no respect for the source material, then you shouldn't really expect the fans to really follow you too much. And a lot of the wavering that have is just the fact that they just didn't respect the material.
Folks, you're listening to the first 2017 edition of Fanatics and the Fan. We have some very special guests, and we've been talking about a lot of different things, and I was trying to segue into Buffy. Not well.
Badly.
Actually, I stand by what I said. I didn't like the direction in which they were headed.
What, as she was getting older, or what?
Just the where they were going with the beginning of the last season, where they ended was fine, but for a minute they did lose me. But you guys also do Buffy? Is that what you guys do? Batman, you do Buffy, and you do
Grave Tales.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, we do Batman at 7:30. We have like a double feature night. At 7:30 is Batman. At 9 p.m. we do our Buffy the Vampire stage parody.
And how long have you been doing Buffy?
7th year, since 2010.
And you've done basically you followed the original story, pretty much, right?
We don't go backwards, we don't go forwards, we move forward in a progressional timeline. So usually where they have 22 or 24 episodes a season, we do 10. Because we of our season, we do 10 months out of 12 months of the year. And so a lot of times we'll compact 2 or 3 episodes into one if we can. But yeah, we move forward. Season one is only 12 episodes, the TV show, and our season 1 was 12 episodes. So we did every episode. But ever since then, we've been moving forward continually.
You guys watch the show, of course, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I catch it every now and then.
You haven't binged it?
You got to understand something about Joss Whedon. You know where he got the basic idea for Buffy as far as how he presented it and put the character and everything.
No, I don't.
He's a huge comic book fan. He got it from Spider-Man. The early issues of Spider-Man when he was in high school, all that stuff. Okay. So the story arcs, and that's pretty much where he got a lot of his ideas and inspiration for Buffy. So
it basically follows the archetype of, well, what if somebody goes to high school, but they also have to deal with like this secret world where they're a superhero?
That's it. That's Buffy.
Exactly right.
So he took it and just changed the sex of the character, went from superheroes and niceties to horror, because it was like, hey, look, nobody would expect that. A strong female character in a horror, because up to that time, females were supposed to be victims.
My first interaction with the IP was the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie that came out in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Joss is...
I understood he didn't really like that movie.
He didn't like the legal wranglings that cost him a lot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there are 2 people that got the best of him on that one. And so now they're forever tied to the character, which is the real reason why he doesn't really do anything with it. Because in order to do that, for something that he created, he has to get their permission. Yeah, and it's a whole bunch of... He just decides, I'll just leave it, And unfortunately for all of us, that's the way it's got to stay.
It's kind of like what happened with the creator of Mega Man and Capcom.
There you go.
With that. It's like it's his creation, but then he's being controlled by the actual people that own the IP.
Oh, man, those people...
Be a horrible...
And they had, outside of the movie, they've had nothing that they've contributed, even though they are credited at the end of every episode. They have to.
What's our favorite episode of Buffy that you guys have done?
Hush. Easily.
Hi, this is Ming-Na Wen, and you're listening to Fanatics and the Fan.
But Hush definitely is.
Wow. The musical episode, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Much more with feeling.
Yeah.
I liked the last episode. That's because I played Phantom of the Opera, and I was kind of an eccentric fellow. I was actually had a little bit of a thing for this guy across from me.
That was the killer in me. But the Phantom of the Opera is actually not part of the real show. It was part of my adoption.
My favorite episode was the episode that had a character in it that wasn't even in the original series.
You guys do take a little bit of liberties, because I remember seeing it, and the last time I saw it, I heard a Donald Trump joke, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not the Buffy I saw.
Yeah.
That's Daniel's scripts. He's pretty quick on the keeping up with pop culture references and whatever the topic of the current climate is. Obviously, if we did some of these like years down, like had a return of an episode, some of the jokes would be outmoded. But
so, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you guys on stage? Because I've seen some stuff go wrong and not said anything, But now that I have you on the spot.
We did that on purpose.
It's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on
Well, the interesting, a lot of people, sometimes I talk about in the curtain call, sometimes I don't, but we only rehearse one night a week, right? Whereas
for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. And a lot of theatrical productions you may have every night for 4 weeks. So what we're doing is just one step beyond improv at times, because we're
with these people.
Yeah, we're just cramming things in there, you know. So, but one of the entertaining things about our shows, I think, is because we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. The things that go wrong can actually be quite funny and entertaining, because the audience, or at least our longtime audience, know,
right,
you know, what we're doing and how we're riding that razor's edge. And when things go squirrely for us, they just kind of ride right along with us and have a lot of fun. So and like Sean said, our writer Daniel Harrington, he has a good job of staying true to the script, yet also adding some contemporary humor. So our Buffy fans have a good time. But if somebody comes who even isn't a Buffy fan, they're going to be entertained because of all the humor and the twist and the warping that we do in a good kind of way. I'm very proud as the executive producer that we do our own thing, and yet we truly honor Joss Whedon. We don't make fun of the show. We have fun with what Joss Whedon brought to us. So we have a lot of fun.
You know, you had something you wanted to say.
Sure. Well, just one thing that was an accidental thing. I remember we did. It was probably 4 years ago. It was, I think, a season finale. Whenever Angel needed to take Buffy to the hospital, and Angel had turned into a vampire or something, and had to suck. He got shot. She got shot by an arrow, and so he had to suck Buffy's blood to get her strength, so he can heal himself. Anyway, so our character, we use blood packs. We go full out on our shows as much as we can, and yes, and but anyways, a really funny scene. We didn't rehearse it. We didn't realize it because we didn't use blood packs in rehearsals. But on the show night, Josh Yarm, who plays Batman in Batman Live parodies, he put a blood pack in, sucked Buffy's blood. He's got the vent mask on. Then he picks her up, takes her to the hospital, and he says, "There's something wrong with Buffy." And he's like, and he had this blood was just on running down his face. He's like, "I don't. It wasn't me," you know. It was like an accidental thing. It was improv. It's so funny.
That sounds like something would happen to me. Anything else? Because I know you guys do a lot of plays and a lot of stuff.
First episode of Grave Tales, I was playing Jack the Ripper, which incidentally I got shoehorned into that character at the Dungeon of Doom, and there was it'd been a while since I had to learn lines from being on the parody shows. And so I memorized my lines, and it was the first show. I ended up getting myself kind of stressed out because of everything, and right before I was supposed to go into my Jack the Ripper mode, where I was like, "Oh, she's a foolish girl, so blind to see you for what you really are," I froze up. And I'm next to the other actress. I freeze up on stage, and then I just start acting like I'm having some sort of mental battle with myself, because that's what was happening with the character. Completely covered that I zoned out for a moment, and I think it added to the actual scene whenever I played that part, and I kept it for the next shows that we did afterwards. So
cool.
I turned one of those "oh God" moments into "I can work with this." Improv.
Use it.
Yeah, most of the big mistakes that we've made on stage, we've turned into a joke.
Yeah.
And it's been great, and you're like, "Oh, that was amazing," and the audience agrees. The worst thing that happens to me as an actor on stage are the little things that no one even notices, that I agonize over afterward, that no one even cares. Like, I'm playing an older Alfred when he's just about to have a heart attack and die. I think it was a stroke. No, anyway. I'm walking with a cane, and on stage, I switch from one hand to the other, which is absurd. There's no way one leg suddenly... The audience didn't notice. They didn't care. And I got off stage and went, "Oh, why did I switch hands? That doesn't make any sense at all." I mean, those are the worst things. You're like, this tiny little moments that no one even cares. No one remembers that.
But it matters to you at
yes,
the time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Wanted to be true to the character.
The inner workings of the modern day actor, you gotta love it. I've seen Buffy. I've seen you guys do Repo. Class Act does a lot of stuff. You guys you have something almost every month, right? Or twice a month?
We have 3 shows a month.
3 shows a month.
Yeah, 2
I don't know
evenings.
if I like it.
Two different evenings.
Friends Zach might spend that much time with.
We have the Batman Buffy on the third Saturday of the month. Then the following Friday, every fourth Friday, we do our Grave Tales, which is a takeoff on the old pulp magazines of the 50s and 60s, like Eerie and Creepy and
Tales from the Crypt and the Haunts of Fear, stuff like that.
So that's our supernatural horror, and it's quite edgier. We really don't go for comedy with that show. There may be a few laughs, but it's more disturbing and
Sure, audiences.
Yeah, our audience usually leaves quite pale in the face and trembling. From
we don't pull any punches on it.
No, we
so
don't.
people are wanting a good time. They want to see some eldritch horror. 18 or older, unless accompanied by an adult, I would say, for that. And even then, I would strongly urge. Like the last few episodes, is no way. I wouldn't have felt comfortable. And I wrote some of the scripts that I'd be like, I don't even feel comfortable with like people that I know that are below a certain age coming to see some of these shows because they get pretty dark.
We started out with some really good scripts, but again, I went to the writers and the actors and said, listen, I want to get it a little bit more edgier. I want a little bit more sensuality, and I want a little bit more violence. And by golly, I got it.
Now, I know we've talked about Batman already, but I failed to bring this up when we were talking about it because The Killing Joke has had this resurgence of you guys are aware of it.
Oh, yeah.
You've used it. Are you thinking about using it? I mean...
Well, that's a little bit of a combination there, though. I'm not saying you guys couldn't do it, but wow.
For a parody show, the part where you make Barbara Gordon like a paraplegic and then the Joker takes naked pictures of her to send to Commissioner Gordon. I don't know if we could
Hard to
put
make that
a
funny.
comical spin on that.
We've had some dark moments before where Joker broke his own neck, set Batman up, and so we've had some dark episodes. I think that was a season finale a few years, 2 years ago or so, and and in Batman we have, and just like Buffy too, in Grave Tales we have like serious stage combat, and it's all safe and everything, but we sell it, and so that was a dark episode.
That was the first episode that I saw you in, and after seeing that episode, I knew I wanted to be parts of the project because it was that like, wow, this is some intense stuff for it being like I thought a parody show. Mind you, it was the first time I saw it, and that was the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Buffy fans will know that there are episodes where Buffy gets quite dark.
Yes,
and we didn't back away from that. We played it very truthfully. We still had the humor there, but some of my favorite Buffys were the ones where they're very emotional and very dark or very
the body,
the body,
Mm-hmm.
and the audience really went with us and accepted it, and we had laughs. But on the other hand, it was some really fine theater and some really fine acting, and it was very, very moving. So
We made some audience cry.
yeah, they cried.
Well, that's awesome.
We killed Willow's.
Yep, Tara. Yep. Sad moment.
Have a moment of silence for her. And moment's over.
But quickly, back to Grave Tales real quick. We've got Shecky, the clown, who is sort of our crypt keeper kind of host every week, and so he does a delightful job. I'm really pleased he's with the company, and
Definitely not so.
we've really mixed it up. We've got stories now. We've started adding very macabre kind of songs and various monologue and storytelling moments. So it's really there's a lot of versatility and a lot of variety in the Grave Tale episodes, and so they're really developing. How long have we been doing them now?
This is going to be our 7th true episode of Grave Tales. We kind of counted Repo, but it's not really Grave Tales. So this is our 7th issue, so to speak, and we finally got the cadence down. We know what we want per episode. We know what the audience loves. They like the monologues. They like the quirky acts and the performance pieces. And going forward, I think we're going to just keep on upping the blood, the gore, and the shock factor.
And we love doing Buffy and Batman. They're really our favorites. But one of the things that really excites me is that Grave Tales is original stories. We have writers, Sean and other writers coming in and really sharing their original work. So if you come see Grave Tales, you're going to see something truly that you've never seen before.
And On that note, George just made me think about something. We're always looking for local talents that wants to submit scripts. So